Camera.
Market.
Scene 6, slate 1, take 1.
Thank you. And set.
I'm Mehul Savani. I am a businessman. I run a couple of companies, one of them being the film production.
My name is Jesse Chalo. I'm very young.
My name is Kiboy Kuria. I'm a screenwriter and producer. This year, 2018, I'm celebrating my 10 years in film.
Captain of the Coast, as everyone has said, it's a period piece. It's based on the 17th century. It's just basically about the invasion of the Portuguese in the East African coastline, mainly Kenya, and how they influenced the culture in the coastal region culture. When you go to Mombasa, of course, you see we have a lot of Arabs, but they didn't just happen to be Arabs. There was a certain invasion and cultural exchange that happened for them to be the way they are. So it's basically, we're telling the story of how the Arabs came to influence that culture and the challenges they faced, which is now the Portuguese, and somewhere around the line they faced, is it Baluchi?
The Baluchi mercenaries joined them.
Yeah, so it's just basically we're trying to show people how the culture came about, but before the culture came about there was struggles, slavery and all those things that happened. So that's just a brief summary of the movie.
Wanaua kwa sababu wanataka kutushiliza kiu yao ya damu, sio? Ndio. Wananyumbua bila sababu. Kwa sababu wanataka kuona wahasiriwa wao wakiteseka, sio? Ndio. Wanachukua watakavyo na watakapo, sio? Ndio.
Jesse came actually to use my office as one of his locations, and once that was over, he then proposed that he had some plans, knowing that I have some interest in filmmaking, and we just started.
Captain of the Coast came by in 2002. That is, I think, maybe 10, 11 years, 12 years. I think I was in Form 1. I was in Form 1 then. And how it came about is I was in a history class, and we were doing the study of the coastal region of Kenya, and among the stories that we were reading about the coastal region, the invasion of the Portuguese and the Arabs in the coastal region caught my eye, because it's something that I had never heard before. Of course, I knew about the local traders, from the way Kambas were moving from Eastern all the way to Mombasa to sell ivory. I knew all about that, but I never knew about the invasion of the Portuguese and the Arabs in the coastal region. And it interested me because in the history books it's not well documented. It was just vague. It was just like, by the way, yeah, we had Portuguese and we had Arabs when they came and they conquered the fort, but it wasn't well documented. So I started trying to read and see if I can get more details. Then I realized, this can be a very good movie. Back then I didn't know how to write a movie. I couldn't even write, so I just wrote it as a composition. I remember it was a 6-page composition. That was the longest thing I've ever written in my life. Yeah.
Captain of the Coast, the first time I came across the project. We just done a project with the director Jesse, and when the project was in its deathbed, we were looking for a way out. So he called me up one day, pitched to me this idea about a 17th century story for Jesus and the siege that happened there in between 1696 and 1698. And at first, I have to say I was not for the idea, because I knew the work that would be involved in producing a period piece. I thought this was just crazy. So at first I told him no, but he persisted. He scratched a bit of money, invited me to Mombasa to go and do some research. And in the process of doing that research is when it dawned on me that it is not the weight of the task ahead that's important. It's what value does the story tell? Does the story give?
We've been working on a few ideas. If you talk about how did we embark on Captain of the Coast, few ideas. One or two of them had materialized in a small way, and when an opportunity came talking about the history, I've always been passionate about history and the roots where we come from. And if we really want to know how the Kenyans went through years ago, through their struggle to be independent, I think that interests me more. And that's the reason I had made the film Wavamizi in the year 2010, because history is of interest and I gave a lot of importance to it.
Why Jesse as the director? Why collaborate with him on this? Because this is going to be a journey that will take us almost 3-4 years, if not 5. It's the grandness of his vision, of course. It's something as a breath of fresh air. It's something new. We're not talking about your regular stories that most directors will pitch, most producers will pitch. We're talking about a very different, a very new world, a very new challenge. So that's what attracted me to this project, and where I'm willing to put everything on hold to see it through.
I like writers I like scripts that have more white than black. So he's very good with dialogues, like what people will say and how they will say it, and it's something that I've been missing in my life for a very long time. So not that the things that I've directed or have been directed were bad, but it's something that when you read a script, it just makes you want to make it better.
They have a lot to learn, and if they hold on to where they are and have the interest in growing and learning, as learning never ends, I'm still learning as well. Everybody learns, and if they have that in mind, that throughout their life they're going to be learning. Every movie is a new experience, and if they hold on to that position, I'm sure they have a great future.
Film is all about communicating, and personally I see film as a tool of prophecy. So the question I always ask myself, what am I speaking to the future generation? That is always the question that I ask myself. The demo came in a time where I had grown as a person, as a director, because before I was everywhere. I wanted to know what exactly the producer is doing. I was just everywhere. But Captain came in the right time where people were just doing their jobs. I was just there to direct. So if the location in Isili, if they find a location, we go for the recce. I like it. That's it. So how they lock it down, whatever they want to do with that location to make it look like what is explained in the script, that's up to them. So I just come with my cast and do the thing. So I think it was an easy experience for me. The only challenge was maybe the weather, because the cold is what I wasn't prepared for. Yeah. But otherwise it was again, it's good when you're doing a movie, let people do their jobs. It will be easy on everyone.
Yeah, you have to trust your crew. You have to give them the tools to pull off what they can, and I think they surprised us, especially makeup.
Yeah, makeup, costume, also the AD, because the AD is actually a third-year student in KU, in Kenyatta University. So
to be able to keep the schedule and the picture looks amazing. Any investor out there, this is a different kind of story from what we used to coming out of this region. For the probably the first time, we're going way back in time to bring you something that really happened, an inspiring story that should serve to inspire the next generation of filmmakers, inspire Kenyans to believe in themselves more, and Africans to believe in themselves more, to know that we are at par with our brothers and sisters elsewhere in the world. So if for nothing, just do it for that reason, that this is going to change things. This is going to change how we look at ourselves. it is a once in a lifetime project, and I'd like to urge you to join us in this great journey.
Is definitely going to reap huge benefits. If you have seen history films that have recently been released worldwide, they have had audiences from variety of people. Never mind the language, the subtitles, the dubbing makes it reachable to different audiences, and it has got good amount of response from all over the world. So why not? Captain of the Coast is definitely going to be one such film. And if you really feel that you want to be a part of this film, get in touch.